November 5th, that's election day. It's going to be November 5th. That is the most important period of time. It's the most important day in the history of our country. Our country's going bad, and it's going to be changed on November 5th. And if it's not changed, we're not going to have a country anymore.
Brian, looks like the president was really balanced. A somber tone.
I mean, yeah. Donald Trump is losing his handle on the upcoming presidential election. And here is who he says is to blame.
And I support the police, I would say, at the highest level of any president by far, maybe double or triple. And they knew that. That's why when I walked into that funeral parlor, it was like love. It was just, they want to shy away from it. They didn't even call the family. They could have called. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know even a call would be perhaps, I'm not sure they'd take his call.
Donald Trump will insist that he is pro-cop, but just rewind to that fateful day in the Capitol, and you will recall exactly how Donald Trump feels about the police and the people whose lives are taken at the expense of the state.
Ashley Babbitt. They shot Ashley Babbitt for no reason whatsoever. They shot a thug. He was a thug who shot her, and it's a disgrace. The way they've treated those people is, and everywhere I go, somebody brings up the whole J6 situation. The way they've treated those people. You watch what happens. You watch what happens. Yes, sir.
As we approach November, the presidential election, and even more imminently, the results of countless legal battles threatening his presidential run, it's clear that Donald Trump is getting desperate. In the midst of a failing campaign seeking a second term and a presidential pardon for his extensive crimes, Donald Trump has had to lay all of his cards on the table, mobilizing every inch of his base to secure an unlikely win and avoid an inevitable conviction. But determined to go down fighting, 45 has shifted his attention to the police as a last line of defense between him and the justice that so many Americans are clamoring for. And historically, many fascist leaders, especially in the midst of ailing public support, rely on the police to protect and project civic support and bolster their influence on the state's enforcement apparatus. But Donald Trump's police pandering has gone too far. In a troubling interview with Fox News, Donald Trump struggles to parse together a coherent sentence as he beckons his boys in blue and other MAGA supporters with utmost urgency to hold the line, even going as far as sensationalizing the funeral of a recently fallen officer for an unwarranted photo op and a seemingly off-the-cuff interview where he can't resist but directly attack his political opponents for not showing the same grace and humility he has. But you and I both know that Donald Trump has just as much respect for the dead as he does for the living he uses to get his way. The former president is no stranger to spinning tales that support his political campaigns, and manipulating the untimely death of a public servant is no different to him. Whether or not you're in uniform or in protest, it does not matter to Donald Trump. He will use what you stand for as a citizen of the US, and what some die for as martyrs of their causes, for his own selfish ends, twisting to validly support or deny the significance of these victims, of his crusade against the truth, and his continued manipulation of the American people. Donald Trump betrays his loyalties, which are not to the police or the people that they are sworn to protect, but to himself and himself alone. And if this man can't find sympathy for the people who have paid the ultimate price, either to defend this country or support his presidency, Trump delivers on his promise not of change, but of utmost corruption and authoritarianism. But despite being such an obvious wolf in sheep's clothing, Trump still enjoys a welcomed amount of support from the boys in blue, who buy the political mud pie that Trump is slinging to garner their unwavering support. But the corruption and malpractice of the Trump campaign must come to an end, furnished by the legal institutions that Trump seems to be so fond of. And in that way, I can see why Donald Trump is sweating. He should be. Being defeated by a system that you swore to protect is a political irony, to say the least, accenting a legacy of dysfunction, culminating in a bitter resolution, only made possible by the Orange in Chief himself. And when you're in a position like Donald Trump, I mean, how can you not sweat? This is Adrian Costa with Rebel HQ. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check back for more videos. See you guys soon.